What's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope we're all doing absolutely fine. And today, as usual, we're gonna continue with an essay by Seneca on anger. It's gonna be the 11th part of it, so let's get started. But, argues he, against our enemies, anger is necessary. In no case it is less necessary, since our attacks ought not to be disorderly, but regulated and under control. What, indeed, is it except anger so ruinous to itself that overthrows barbarians who have so much more bodily strength than we, and are so much better able to endure fatigue? Gladiators, too, protect themselves by skill, but expose themselves to wounds when they are angry. Moreover, of what use is anger when the same end can be arrived at by a reason? Do you suppose that a hunter is angry with the beasts he kills, yet he meets them when they attack him, and follows them when they flee from him? All of which is managed by reason without anger. When so many thousands of Cimbri and Teutons poured over the Alps, what was it that caused them to perish so completely that no messenger, only common rumor, carried the news of that great defeat to their homes, except that with them anger stood in the place of courage? And anger, although sometimes it overthrows and breaks to pieces whatever it meets, yet is more often its own destruction. How can be braver? Who can be braver than the Germans, who charge more boldly, who have more love of arms, among which they are born and bred, for which alone they care to neglect of everything else? Who can be more hardened to undergo every hardship, since a large part of them have no store of clothing for the body, no shelter from the continual rigor of the climate? Yet Spaniards and Gauls, and even the unwarlike races of Asia and Syria, cut them down before the main legion comes within sight, without nothing but their own irascibility exposing them to death. Give but intelligence to those minds, and discipline to those bodies of theirs which now are ignorant of wishes, refinements, luxury, and wealth, to say nothing more, we should certainly be obliged to go back to the ancient Roman habits of life. By what did Fabius restore the shattered forces of the state, except by knowing how to delay and spin out time, which angry men know not how to do? The empire, which then was at its last grasp, would have perished if Fabius had been as daring as anger urged him to be. But he took thought about the condition of affairs, and after counting his force, no part of which could be lost without everything being lost with it, he laid aside thoughts of grief and revenge, turning his sole attention to what was profitable and to making the most of his opportunities, and conquered his anger before he conquered Hannibal. What did Scipio do? Did he not leave behind Hannibal and the Carthaginian army, and all with whom he had a right to be angry, and carry over the war into Africa with such deliberation that he made his enemies think him luxurious and lazy? What did the second Scipio do? Did he not remain a long time before Numantia, and bear with calmness the reproach to himself and to his country that Numantia took longer to conquer than Carthage, by blockading and investing his enemies? He brought them to such straits that they perished by their own swords. Anger, therefore, is not useful even in wars or battles, for it is prone to rashness, and while trying to bring others into danger, does not guard itself against danger. The most trustworthy virtue is that which long and carefully considers itself, controls itself, and slowly and deliberately brings itself to the front. Alright, guys, so we're done with this part, and we can continue tomorrow as usual. Yeah. So thank you, see you, and bye.